game plan. I've left Sophie back at camp and I've sold her the sort of ruse that I'm going to have a bit of creative time, maybe fly my drone, take some photos. But what I'm actually doing, because it's her birthday tomorrow, and she quite rightly thinks that I won't do anything or haven't done anything for her because, you know, guys are pretty useless at those things. Plus we're on a trip and pretty remote, and it's hard to keep secrets from each other. Like, you can't really surprise anyone because you're on top of each other all the time. I've taken the opportunity to put the esky in the back of the car behind me there and head into Bachelor. So it's about 60 k's from where we're camping, so a good sort of 45-minute drive. And I've seen on the map, what little signal I've had, there's a general store there. So I've kind of started formulating this plan to surprise Soph. What I'm thinking, and bear in mind that this plan is completely dependent on the general store selling or stocking any of these things or me being able to source them, sort of formulating like an epic birthday surprise for Soph. And where I've got to is, it starts off with mimosas or champagne at Florence Falls where we're camping. So walk down there, have a couple of glasses of champagne, then jump in the car and I'm gonna get a load of things for a picnic. And we're gonna head down this full drive track that I need to also head to Bachelor to get some signal so I can plan out. But it effectively follows along the river and stops in at places like Sandy Creek Falls and a couple of others that are remote, hard to get to. Won't be any tourists there because there's river crossings and all sorts, so you know, you really have to have your kit to get there. So then, and Soph's been going on about this for days now, we've got a little campfire and a little like hot plate at the campsite we're at. And Soph keeps mentioning that she would love just barbecue meats with us so that we could have done a proper barbecue cook up on those little hot plates with a fire going and everything. And I mean, she must have mentioned it probably about 10 times. And that's probably the best surprise birthday plan I can come up with. You know, you get to go, get out, picturesque waterfalls to yourself, picnics, drinks. I think that's gonna be the perfect day for her. Hopefully it is. Stick with us, we'll see how we go. I managed to get some of the things we need from the general store. Some snacks, some things for the picnic. However, there wasn't a great meat section. I think there was some stuff in there that was pretty frozen, and I just don't think it was befitting a XXX date birthday, because it's really hard not talking about what age she's turning. Not befitting a birthday dinner. So what I'm gonna do, I managed to get some internet. Bachelor has full bar 4G, which is great because I can actually use my phone again. And I found this place called Eve Valley Meats. So that looks like, from what I can see, it's got its own abattoir. They seem to do some pretty cool stuff. So hopefully we'll find some meat there that is worthy of being a birthday dinner. So next stop, Eve Valley Meats. See you there. Apparently Eve Valley Meats is at the bottom of this. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it's not just an abattoir and you can't actually buy from them, but it's definitely down a dirt track. It does not look like people come down here very often to pick up their meat. Maybe they do. Maybe this is just how the NT is, but I think when there's a gate that's closed like there is, that's probably a sign that you can't go in it. Yeah, no, I don't think you can go in there. Maybe it's further down here. Eve Valley Meats to the right. Old camera down. Oh, I guess maybe you keep going down. There's even more, there's a dirt road. I don't know, this is proving a bit more of a mission than I was expecting, but I'll go down the dirt. I'll go down the, it's not even a dirt road, it's a grass road. So maybe if I go down there, Eve Valley Meats will be at the bottom of it. We'll see. This is getting less and less promising the more I do it. And I'll show you this road that I'm thinking about going down. It's I wouldn't even call it a road. If there's a bloody butcher's open at the end of this road, I will just be absolutely astonished because it doesn't look like anyone's driven down here ever. This is so bizarre. Yeah, I don't like I think I'll go along here for another 5 minutes. If I don't hit something that looks inviting, then I'm going to turn around and just give up on Eve Valley Meats. Well, unless Google Maps is incredibly wrong, which I wouldn't put past it, I don't really like my chances of finding Eve Valley Meats, because this is kind of where it said it would be. And this track looks so unused, it's not even funny. And there's a little, like, I don't know, farm at the end there, so I think I might head back up, try and get signal again and see if there's any missing instructions, but be positive. It's not over yet, let's keep trying. Okay, sweet. Well, I'll just turn around now. I should be with you in about 5 minutes, and I'll grab whatever I can. Perfect.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thanks.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So got back in reception, called Eve Valley Meats, and apparently that was the right place. It's that that property that had the lock gate. She said it only looks locked, and you can actually come through. They say they package most of their meat to go off for distribution or to be sold in Darwin and so on. But if I came in now, she had to quickly check around and see what there were, what was available, but there should be some T-bones and maybe some Scotch fillet and so on. So I'm glad I called. I'm gonna turn around now, head back up there, go through the gate, and hopefully get some of these steaks. God, I hope Soph appreciates just how much of an epic adventure just getting the supplies for her birthday epic adventure has been, but I'm sure when she watches this footage back, she'll get it. Okay, we're back at the gate, and she was saying, it looks closed, but it's not, and you just open it and make sure I shut it behind me because there will be cattle. This is where I got to before and was like, I'm pretty sure this isn't the right place, but apparently it is. You can see why I didn't do that in the first place, because it does not feel like you're meant to be here. So I'm glad I called and got the okay, because now I feel a lot more comfortable driving up to a random house. After going through 2 gates and still looking like I wasn't meant to be in the right place, end up speaking to an old boy who was doing some welding and asked him if this is where Eve Valley Meats were, and he said, yep, just go through this gate, go past the red tractor, and there should be an office there that you can go into. And when he said office, I mean it was a windowless box with an aircon unit on it, and then there was a refrigerated box, which is obviously the abattoir. And I went in there, lovely young girl called Tess, I believe, who I was speaking to on the phone, answered the door, took me through, ended up buying lots and lots of meat. So we've got T-bones, we've got ribeye, we've got it all. Just got to head back into town and get some alcohol and some ice to keep everything cool in the esky, and some fuel, and then we're good to go. Morning. Happy birthday.
It is my birthday.
Yay. We won't say how old you are. We'll keep that between you and I. So no, you're not meant to talk about these sort of things.
No, you're not. You're as old as you feel.
So I've got a day planned out, and it starts with a little morning surprise at the waterfall. So
you've planned something.
Yeah, I know you would have probably thought I'd forgotten.
I was starting to think that you hadn't mentioned anything for a while.
Would you like a coffee to help wake up?
I'd love coffee.
Right, I'll get you a coffee and then let's head to the waterfall.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you. How long have you been up for?
Little while. I was waiting for you to mention yesterday that something about your birthday or anything, but I had a feeling you were going to let me forget and then potentially pull me up on it at some point today.
Yeah, it probably would have about lunchtime today.
So the pack mule here, 2 backpacks. One with supplies, one with camera gear. I feel like this is going to be me all day today.
When do I get to find out what's in the backpack?
Oh, the backpack will be ever changing and there'll be different things in it each leg of the journey. Can you believe Soph's only 21?
Wow.
She's had a hard old life.
Living with you for the last 11 years.
Not gonna lie, I can see how that would age you.
Just waiting for something to pop out at me.
Yeah.
Mariachi band.
There's no crazy surprises. Don't worry about that. Open that bag down there.
This one?
Yep. Mimosas at the waterfall for breakfast this morning.
This is awesome.
You can have food as well, but I just thought start with a
Refreshing cold
a drink. Those glasses are plastic, and the corksicle bottle, the teal bottle, is for filling the mimosas because you're not allowed the glass from the glass bottle 10 meters in the NT close to a water hole. So
Yeah, and this keeps everything really cold.
yeah, and that'll keep it super cold. If we mix the sparkling with the orange juice, put it in the corksicle, and then we can take those plastic cups across the waterfall with us.
I'm gonna have a sip.
Oh, no, it's your birthday. You can do whatever you want.
I haven't had a mimosa in so long.
When else is it socially acceptable to have champagne in the morning? Christmas, birthdays, special occasions.
Yeah.
Look at that waterfall.
Try not to disappearing now. No, I won't stand for that. One chance is all you get. Before you get the axe, try your disappearing trick. I won't put up with it. I know you think you're quick, but I'm quicker. Don't forget I know your weakness. Don't be so
How good is this?
This is living.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy first spot of your birthday. Waterfall number 1. Ooh, that might mean there's more waterfalls. I don't know.
I'm just getting anxious now for your birthday. How am I going to top this?
Well, the beauty is when you're in amazing spots, it's not hard to do something special.
No.
I couldn't think of any better place to start off the day.
No.
A little cheeky mimosa, and then we can have a little bit of an omelette after,
Ooh, yeah.
and then I'm not going to tell you what else we're doing,
I like surprises.
but I will give you a clue. I'm going to enjoy the journey, so do with that what you will. It's a surprise for you because we'll go to some cool places, but the journey there is going to be
Okay.
something I'll enjoy as well.
disappearing now. No, I won't stand for that. One chance is all you
I'm the one that loves surprises, and Dunc doesn't, and every birthday I generally find some way of surprising him, and he actually doesn't like it. So now for him to do me a surprise like this is awesome.
For breakfast, you have a choice. Omelettes or banana pancakes.
Are you gonna make both of them? Because I normally make the pancakes. So I
Yes.
need to know my involvement before I make this decision.
Well, I mean, I don't want to sway you either way. I like omelettes, obviously.
Because you
Hence-
can put hummus on them.
Hence, because you can put hummus on them. and hence why I know how to make really good omelets and not banana pancakes. But it's your birthday, so if you want omelets or banana pancakes, I will make them for you. So you pick. Don't let me sway you.
So, okay, you want the omelettes?
No, I didn't say that. Pick whatever you would like.
Let's get pancakes.
Banana pancakes it is then.
Do. Yep.
Better learn how to make them really quick, because how hard can it be? Maybe you can shout instructions.
Yeah.
I was hoping she'd pick omelette, but I can see how banana pancakes would be better after mimosas, so let's see how I go. Let's see if they are up to your high standards.
Oh my god! They look like pancakes.
A little while there, I didn't think they would.
Is that maple syrup on top? Yeah, it is. Oh my god. It looks amazing. It looks like it's from a restaurant or a cafe. Alright. I don't think mine actually look like this when I make them. I can taste that maple syrup.
There's a lot of maple syrup.
That is so good.
For today, you're going to need your bikini from before
Yeah.
and some walking shoes, and that's all you need. I've packed supplies all ready to go for
Okay.
a picnic, and dinner's taken care of, so all you need to do is make sure that you have adequate clothing to go explore the NTN. We've got pretty much a full tank, but never hurts to top it right off.
It's making me very intrigued as to how far we're going today.
And today, you can't see from the sweat at the top of my head, is going to be a 40+ degree day, so good day to be outside. Make sure we stay hydrated.
Season. We haven't even had all the downpours yet and it's this rain. So just imagine a few months time, February, March time, what it might look like.
Could you imagine living out here? Look how low the roof is. Try and walk under that.
Well, it's a good limbo.
You ever seen that movie, The Hills Have Eyes?
No, horror. So stop doing that when we get to remote places. Wow. Yeah, check out the family tree. There's about a 27-year age gap between the youngest and the oldest child.
Yeah. I just can't believe how many kids they must have just been pumping out little slave labour for their tin line. I just can't help by reading this thinking just how crazy it would be coming all the way out here and just setting up a homestead. Like now, when you've got cars and towns and so on, everything seems a lot closer. Whereas back then, getting around would have been such a big task. And this would have been so remote. You'd feel like a completely frontier town. What do you reckon? Just like outdoor suspended bed.
It looks like a daybed. Much cooler out here than it is inside.
I'm not going to test that with my weight. That's what I was thinking, like when you get the breeze, how much we notice that in the caravan, being outside, even though you're out in the heat, just having the breeze come through is so much cooler than being in a building. I just don't see where they all would have slept. There was 14 of them, or just the older ones in here.
Well, it did say the older children came down here and worked in the mine. So whether that was 2 or 3 or 6, not sure. Just left Blyth Homestead. I'm always so humbled when we go to places like that. 14 children, raising 14, like raising 2 would be hard enough. 14 is insane. And just thinking about the children, so apparently reading all the books, they didn't earn anything. They weren't paid a humble wage or pocket money or anything that you and I would think of for, nowadays. They worked until the oldest child, she was 25 when she finally decided she wanted to get married and leave. And then she went into the world, and that's when she first started learning about money and, being paid for things and trading things for other things. I find it so fascinating. And how remote they were. That was nearly 100 years ago. That's been there since 1928. So no cars, get in and out on horseback, no hospitals. A lot of the books in there were talking about how the kids had to learn how to be their own doctors, essentially. And one of the girls, she crushed her hand. So the other girls, and they were probably 7 or 8 years old, had to make a splint and just essentially push all the fingers back into place. I think kids then were just built so much hardier than what we are built today. Some huge termite mounds there.
Look at these.
These are huge.
I think these even put the one that we stopped off the other day to shame.
Yeah.
Going along this track, and we quite literally came in and saw what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 termite mounds. Like this one, which quite literally put the one we were going on about how big it was the other day to shame. So it's like when you catch a fish and then you catch a bigger one.
Yeah.
Or what's it, when you're watching a sunrise and you take a photo and then you see it gets better and better and better and better and better. That's what I think termites are going to be like for us, where you just keep seeing bigger and bigger and bigger ones. But this one is an absolute monster.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Actually, so when we were at the termite mounds the other day, I was reading that, so these ones are called cathedral termite mounds, and they'll grow as big as 5 meters. But I think this is bigger than 5 meters.
Yeah, what do you reckon that is?
It's not 1.7. I think it's close to 6.
Especially if you go right up to that little tippy top up there. That is huge.
Insane. So just think, 5 millimeters is the size of a termite. This 5 meters, that's 1,000 times bigger than itself. And they're all working collectively in a unit to build something to this scale. This is mind-blowing.
Can you tell that Sophie reads the signs when we stop off at sites of interest? She always comes out with these facts that are very specific. I always wonder where she gets them from. And then I realize that if I look back at all the videos I've taken of all the signs, when we get to things like the termite mounds, they're always the facts that Sophie's coming out with. So
Walking encyclopedia.
yeah, cool. Oh well, hope you like termite facts, because Sophie is full of them.
I'm just trying to think what else I know.
If we find some magnetic ones, because these are what you say, cathedral.
Cathedral.
If we find magnetic ones, then Sophie probably have a whole bunch more facts for you.
A few moments later.
As promised, we've found some of the magnetic, and the magnetic ones always seem to be grey. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know why they are, but they always seem to be grey. So you ready?
So if it's educational science lesson, here we
Shoot.
go.
Tell me about magnetic termite mounds.
So the reason why they are so skinny, as Duncan quite rightly points out, is because they're magnetic. They point from north to south, right? So what the termites do, and it's a specific kind of termite, it's not cathedral termites, it's magnetic termites. So these ones, they all build collectively to point due north to minimize the amount of heat that's going inside here, because obviously it's roasting here and they need a cool, constant temperature. So this way, when the sun rises in the east and then sets over in the west, they're getting minimal heat in here at any point of the day. And interestingly, what they do, when the sun reaches midday and then crosses over to the other side, all the termites move from the one side to the other where it's shaded.
One semester later.
Final fact, because this is what I find most interesting. I hear you asking the question, how do they know which way is north? Because termites are blind.
I wasn't asking that.
Well,
Are termites blind?
yeah. So again, it's something I learned from the sign. So termites are blind, so they can't look up and go, okay, the sun's here, we'll build this way. And I thought maybe they would do it by feel. You know, okay, like as you and I, you can tell which way the sun's hitting you because you're hot on one side and cool on the other. Nope. So what scientists did, they did an experiment and they put different magnets around different termite mounds. And what they found that they did was they started changing, they got more rock and they started changing the shape of the termite mound to realign with the magnets, thinking that that was then due north and due south, when it wasn't.
When you say rock, you mean dirt, right?
Rock, dirt, sand, yeah. It looks like a rock when it's this colour. So they believe, scientists believe, that magnetic termites actually have a compass inside of them, and that's how they know which way is north and south.
Jeez, look, I'm impressed by the termite mounds. I'm more impressed that you learnt all that from reading a sign that quickly. Anyway, back on with the birthday adventure. We've been very waylaid by termites so far,
We have.
but I think it's time to get to a waterfall. I don't know about you, but I am horribly sweaty.
I'm getting hot and I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, it's time for a picnic. So back in the car, let's go. I'm having far too much fun on this, eh? Like,
It's a pretty fun dirt track.
oh, this is all sand, look at this. We're just about to cross Reynolds River, which we've been sort of zigzagging the whole way, and I think most of the water we've seen is Reynolds River. But this is the official Reynolds River crossing. And I think the first crossing we went through has probably been the deepest so far. This one looks really nice, sandy bottom.
What's he doing?
This just got wedged in between the rock sliders and the ground and was causing a almighty racket because it was literally like spearing that in. Just felt like I'd hit something.
Who you had? It's a big
Well, I
stick.
mean, yeah. All good though. Part of forward driving. The old stick gets caught between your rock sliders. It's annoying though, I didn't even see this. It just must have been sticking up, got caught.
Oh.
Yeah,
Onwards.
onwards and upwards. how far the waterfalls are from the car park. But we've just started following the path, so hopefully it's not too far away. But I can't really hear any water. All I can really hear are the flies buzzing around my head. It's super hot. I know I'm going to have said that a lot, but we're coming through this valley and it's just sand and sun.
Yeah.
I'm hoping there's a waterfall somewhere. I just can't see unless it's the quietest waterfall.
Water is so green.
I don't necessarily think green's a good thing in this case though. You can see it's completely dried up. So you want to go for a swim?
It's so hot. I really do want to go for a swim. I'm just not sure about this water.
We figured out what the surprise was. I think in wet season this place would be absolutely stunning, but unfortunately looks like there hasn't been water for a while and it's dried up. There's barely a trickle going over and it's actually gotten pretty stagnant, so it's pretty, I don't know if you can see on camera, it's pretty blue, greeny, sort of algae-ish, so not the best for swimming. We just ran into some locals at the top as well and they were just down for a walk and they said they wouldn't fancy swimming either, and pointed out that there's croc traps along the bottom of this river stretch and that it looked pretty murky, and then they left. So I think
Heed the local advice?
Heed local advice. I think sadly we worked out what the surprise was today, and sometimes surprises aren't always good surprises.
Right.
So I think we'll head back to Sandy Creek, have our lunch there and go for a swim. I mean, we're stinking hot and we're really looking forward to getting in the water, but I think you got to take the local advice. Plus, I don't think I could ever be hot enough to want to go in really bluey, greeny, algae water that's been stagnant for a while. Everything in my body's telling me that'd be a bad decision. So, back to the car, back across the river crossings, and to Sandy Creek. If you didn't believe me about the croc trap and the most croc looking water I've ever seen, there we are. So another reason not to go in, because that's what's downstream of it. Surprise Creek, Surprise Falls, I think not. Maybe in wet season, maybe, but I don't think I'd make the effort to come back down again. So we've just done all that forward driving, got to the car park, and we're the only car there, which is great because it means, well, I have fingers crossed, unless there's another way of getting to these falls, we should have them all to ourselves, which is always a win in my book. This whole walk runs along a stream. There's a stream on your right and you can just hear running water. You can see it as well. It's pretty shallow, but my God, is it teasing you. It's just in the heat, you're just looking at it going, oh, I could just take a quick dip in there. I mean, it's barely sort of ankle height, but you could definitely lie down in it. It's it's like a bit of a torture, really, walking along a stream the whole way, getting hotter and hotter and hotter. How cool are these? It's almost like these like alien little tentacle things. I can't think of the film that I'm thinking of, but like
Alien vs Predator?
Nah, it's not that. I know what they look like, but it's one of those things where they just like open their mouth and these tentacles are like out there, like they're like sensors or like whatever. But that's really cool. It's super soft. I assume that they turn into these gnarly sort of like rigid branches, but very cool. Righto, let's get to the waterfall. This is pretty stunning. How good. Anyway, don't look at my face, look at this. We are motoring back now because of our little delay at Surprise Creek and not being able to swim. We're a little bit behind schedule on our way back for surprise number 3. Good surprise, not like Surprise Creek, a good surprise this time. Okay, so time to pick your birthday meal steak. There's a good selection here, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, oh my god. Let's keep the eye fillet because that, I feel like we might do that not on a barbecue.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd do it justice on a barbecue. You probably want to control the heat on the pan a little bit better.
Well, what about a porterhouse and a T-bone?
Porterhouse and a T-bone. Done. Porterhouse, T-bone. Final answer?
Final answer.
Okay, I'm gonna chuck on the barbecue.
Yeah.
And as if on cue, it has started raining, which is typical because I just spoke about how it's so hot and everything's so dry. It's gonna be super easy to make a fire. Well, it was easy to make a fire, but now it's, I guess, the first time it's rained since we've been here, but it's all good. We'll go back inside, get everything ready, and hopefully it's just a bit of an arvo shower and then it's all done and we can come back out and finish cooking. Good?
That's delicious. That's really good. Soft tannins.
Alright. Stop pretending you know what you're talking about.
Look at this. Drinking wine next to the fire, cooking the meat.
I reckon the T-bone's ready to go.
I love the actual shape of the T-bone in there. Doesn't it remind you of the Eiffel Tower, this one?
No, every time I see this now, I think of that movie with Jared Butler in it.
Yeah.
Law-abiding citizen.
Yeah.
Where he orders the T-bone so he can get the bone out, and then he stabs the guy, his cellmate with it. Is that not what you think about?
I hadn't, no, but now you've said it because it's one of my favourite movies.
T-bone, that's what I think of. I know you're itching to get in there.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
It looks incredible.
Boy done good?
Boy done good.
Righto, I won't hold you up anymore. Get into it.
My plating skills doesn't look as good as your plating skills, I'm afraid, Duncan. Obviously some hummus. Who wouldn't be a Duncan dinner without hummus?
So one thing you probably can't see on camera is just how many flies are trying to get at the food, so not as glamorous as some of you probably think, especially we are still out in the Aussie bush, so there are flies, and keeping them off is an ever-evolving thing, especially in the NT, so let's get into it. Look at all those. You don't tell me that I'm not treating you to luxury. You got all the kids' biscuits you could want. Marshmallows, some Lindt chocolate.
So what do? We just keep eating until either the chocolate, the marshmallows, or the biscuits run out. Is that the rules?
Keep eating until you're full, Soph. You don't have to wait till one runs out. I'm loving the different biscuit combination. Scotch fingers, chocolate, and pretty much all the biscuits from my childhood, really, together in different combinations. I think I'm enjoying this more than you are, because you wouldn't have had these biscuits when you were growing up.
No. So for you, you're getting that nostalgic memory too. I think this is the winning combination.
It's pretty good.
Chocolate on one side, Anzac on the other. And it keeps going. Because, look at that sunset.